Hey there! So I'm going to show you how to do the snakes and ladders stitch I created. Now this was done using a U-wrap and Teresa Higby's purl over stitch, and she gave me permission to use her purl over stitch. I'm just going to show you how to do the stitch, but I will show you that it looks different. It looks like this if you do it in the round, and I've used a very heavy yarn. Well, not very, it's just a 6, and it's not even the heaviest 6, it's just a 6 yarn on a 3/4 inch gauge, and then the stitch looks like this. So if you wanted to do it on a finer gauge, you would use a thicker yarn on a finer gauge in proportion to get the same look. You can do swatches to determine it, and then get this one going the right way. And so this is what it looks like when you do it in a flat panel. And the reason it looks like this instead of like this is because you are going this direction and in that direction with the stitch when you're going back and forth. And this way we're going all the same way, and so it makes a very big difference in this stitch. This looks really, really cool too, though. It's got an amazing texture to it. It's a really beautiful texture. Nice dense fabric for where you might need a dense fabric. The reason I called it snakes and ladders is here's your ladders right there, and here's your snakes in it in a flat panel. And yeah, snakes and ladders game. Played it when I was a kid and loved that game, and played it a lot with my granddaughter too, so lots of fond memories about snakes and ladders. Okay, now the other thing I want to show you when you do a flat panel, and I did it, if you want to know how I did the edge here, it's just the edge I did when I showed my owl eye stitch. It's just knitting it over and then knitting it back in a U-wrap both times to get the tighter braided look, but you can do any end you want. But it didn't curl, even though it is U-wrap. It didn't curl, and so there's 2 reasons for that. The purl over gets it to be really tight and straight again, so you don't have as much of the curving and difference between the front and the back that would cause curl. So it works that way, even though the owl eye, or not the owl, the U-wrap would on its own curl. So you're not getting much curl. If you used a different yarn, you might get a little bit of curl and you decide what to do, but this is really quite flat. And I don't plan on using purls because I don't use them where I don't need to. But yeah, you'll have to see if you need any or not. There's no purls in the stitch. It's a purl over that we use, and that is not a purl. It's actually done the knit way, but I will show you how to do that. Okay, so here we are. I added in a new color on this, and so that's why the colors look different, and I'm just going to show you how to do the stitch. So you go over in a U-wrap and you do a U-wrap, okay, and you come back around on the same peg and you go under like you're doing a true knit. So under, go over the stitch on top and pull it through, and then just flip it over. Okay, it's that easy, and then snug it up. Not too snug, make sure it's loose enough that you're going to be able to knit it over easy, and then leave it at that tightness. Okay, so let's do that again. U-wrap, knit it over, come back again, under, over, scoop it up, and over. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you'll probably have to do it when you first start. So you might be able to do that right away, but anyway, you go over, come back, you're going here, and you're just pulling up a loop, see? Pulling up that loop, putting it over, and you can tighten it now right to where you need it. Make sure it's the right tightness. Okay, over and like that. Okay, I'm going to do a real close-up, and there's a little gear on your YouTube video at the bottom right. If you click on that, you can slow down the speed so you can really see this. So we go over the first stitch and knit it over. Come over the next stitch. Scoop up the yarn from under, go over the top one and pull it through. And flip it over. Just flip it right over on here and pull. And make sure you didn't pull too tight. Keep them all the same tension so you're not struggling to knit it. Okay, like that and like that. Over. And you got your loop, and over. It doesn't really matter which way you do it, just whichever way is comfortable. And if it's loose somewhere, you just snug it up. You want them all to be about the same because you want to have this nice uniform look like this. Now, what is it suitable for? Well, I decided that I was going to make myself a couple purses, and also I was looking for stitches for hat brims that wouldn't be too floppy. So I was doing a bunch of experimenting with a lot of stitches, finding something I liked. And I decided that this one would be really nice in the purse. It's dense enough. Won't have to line it, it's perfect. And the other one I had come up with was this one, which is my cobblestone stitch. But I came up with this one a lot earlier, and I realized it would be great for a purse too. So I decided these two would be for my purses this year. And okay, I guess that's all you need to know. When you're doing the flat panel, just make sure that you do the edges I show in it. And for my edge, I just knit over when I'm at the edge, and then I just come back and knit over again because it didn't curl like that. If you vary it, you'll have to check and do a swatch to see if it curls. And if your yarn and gauge is very varied, you may have to check too. So I'll just complete this so I don't lose place of where I am in this, because I'm actually making a purse here. Okay, so there you go. There's the stitch. Have fun with it. I guess, oh, I'll take a good look at the inside. It's very, very smooth. Very smooth. And this has a lot of texture, just like the flat variety does. A lot of texture here. Okay, so until next time, have fun and enjoy.